Hello guys, it's Mr. Sakolo here, Toby Sakolo, with another grade 12 lesson for information technology. Our today's lesson will be about still a continuation of our previous lesson. It will be about internet technologies. So the main topic that we are going to be looking at today is internet service technologies, the services that we get from the internet. So I'm not going to waste any time. I will just go straight to our lesson, and whilst I will be opening my slides. I just want to look at the previous lessons in this topic that we did. We did talk about we talked about okay, let me open here, make this slide a bit bigger. We were talking about firstly we talked about the web from web 1.0 to web 3.0, and then we were mostly based in web 3.0, the advancements that the internet has brought in web 3.0. We talked about the advanced searchings that we have in web 3.0. So right now we are going to do a continuation from what we're talking about, and we said web 3.0 use mostly interactive website that is dynamic website in most cases, and the website is like having a person or a best friend that knows you. They know what you want, so it can give you the information that you want, so it is always going to work according to your favor. It stores information about you, so it knows almost everything about what you are going to want when you go to the internet. What are the possible things that you might be looking for? So when you search for something, you are going to be given a lot of options that might relate to what you want. And another thing we said, when you open a website, you may find out that, and I open the same website, you may find out that we don't get to the same thing. And we make an example like YouTube. When you watch YouTube videos, the suggestions that you will get will be according to the types of videos that you usually watch. And when another person open YouTube, it will be specifically the information or the content that is related to what the person usually watch. So today we're going to talk about cookies. Cookies, we can say, is those text files that are going to be stored on your computer, and what they do, they just take every information. What are you doing in the computer? Just your browsing history. What have you been doing? What have you been searching? Which website are you visiting? Maybe the time when you visit that website. Those are cookies. So those are some of the things that help the website or the website developers to determine your identity. We're going to talk about here. So let me just go straight here into the definition. A cookie is a text file that a website stores on your hard drive with information about your visits to their pages. So what happens? Okay, let me just finish it. Your language preference could be saved to improve your future browsing on their website. So here, a cookie, what happens with a cookie? It comes to from the website, go to your browser, and then they store it in your hard drive. What it does, it stores the information about you. So just like here, as they say, your language preferences could be saved to improve your future browsing on their website. So here they might be looking to know your browsing history, what type of language do you use when you go to the website, and this can assist on your when you browse in the future on that website. Okay, let me go to the next point. It is like a cookie trail that you leave as you browse the internet. Cookies are similar to when you visit your local coffee shop, and they know exactly what you would like to order without having to ask. So, guys, as we were talking about that, having when we're talking about the Web 3.0, the way they have developed the internet, when you visit, when you open a browser or want to do something, just like for example, we made an example with YouTube. So when you visit YouTube and then you are already logged in on your Google, it can read your digital identity, and they know that which videos are you likely to watch based on the content that based on the videos that you were watching previously. So that is what a cookie is doing here. um, that's why here in this line I said like it is like visiting your nearest coffee shop. Maybe if you go to your nearest coffee shop, maybe they know that this is the dish that you are likely to want for lunch, or in the morning they know that this is the dish you are likely to want. When you just get in the store, maybe you are a regular on that particular shop or that particular store, so they already know that, oh, okay, prepare something like this. This is the guy. Or maybe they can ask just to confirm if that's the thing you want, and then you may find out that person who said prefer that type of a dish already know you what you want. So that is what a cookie do. Okay, it just captures the information, all the things that you do. When you look at your browser, it just look at your browsing history and store it in your computer hard drive. So every time you get into the internet, the cookie already have some information about you. Okay, they help website. Okay, this is the things that they do it for. Uh, First, they help website to see how many people visit their site. So maybe they will capture every time you visit on the site, it will be captured, and the links that you are going to click on that site when you visit every time, it will be captured. So each and every visitor, when they come to visit that particular website, their visits are going to be captured on that cookie. They can store your preferences, like your preferred language. So that's what it will do. It will store all your preferences, all the things that you do when you visit that website. So if your preferred language is English, it is already going to store that. They don't carry viruses. So cookies don't carry viruses, and they don't run software. They don't see anything on your computer. And another thing which is good, because of your maybe you have your important information. Everybody wants their privacy on their computers, but then a cookie is not going to see anything that is in your computer, even though it will be stored in your hard drive, but it is not going to see anything. The information might be read by advertisers to see which sites you have visited to target advertisers. So it will be good for you as an advertiser to use cookies, because they will be able to see which websites do you visit, and what are the products that you are mostly targeting, so that they can see what to how they can advertise their products, which products have many people who are always looking at them, those kind of things. You can delete cookies from your browser. So you can just go to your browsing history and delete your cookies. If you don't want people spying on what you are doing on the website, then the good thing about them is that they can be deleted. Or if you don't want them to catch what you are doing, to avoid them, you can just use private browsing. Then you won't have any problem. Okay, here we're still continuing. When you visit a new website, it saves a cookie on your computer. So each and every website that you visit, it is going to store a cookie on your computer, just to read the information about you, see what are you always doing, which links do you click there. So it will contain your ID, your when you say not your identity document, your digital identity. That's what we mean here. And then information like the time you visited the site. So I see that maybe after every time when you come from work, maybe let me say, for example, it's 5, you visit the website, that is going to be captured. And then links you clicked on, which links do you click on the website when you visit? It is going to be noted. What are your interests? Maybe when you go, let me say, for example, like um, a digital shop. When you go to a digital shop, maybe let's say, for example, like Take a Lot, maybe you are a person who always target clothing or anything that you will be looking for, or electronics or anything, so they will know that this person is mostly interested in electronics. Hence, they say it can help advertisers when when somebody's advertising their products, so they know that they can be able to advertise their products to you. Site searches, which are the sites that you search? So it is always going to be there. When you turn to the website, your web browser and the website uses a cookie to determine if you are a new or returning user. So even if you are not an old user of the website, the cookie is still going to capture your information, and they will know what were you doing previously and what are you doing now. And then they are most likely to calculate options, to calculate possibilities for you. What are you going to do the next time when you visit the website? So that's a cookies. So all those things that they use, you see in YouTube, when you open, it just give you a different screen. When you open and your friend open, maybe another third person, you're all going to have different your browser is always going to show you different things because of your different interests. So they already know what you are looking for when you open the browser. Okay, let me go to the next slide. So here we're going to look if cookies can be dangerous. Yes, cookies can be dangerous, but mostly they are mostly safe. And the other important things is that you must, as a person, you must learn to visit protected websites. They can be used for spam and spyware. So they can be used as a spam, and they can also be used as a spyware. Spyware is like putting a spy on a computer or something that will help hackers to get your information, or the things, maybe things like keylogging. Keylogging, they read the keystrokes of your keyboard. Maybe let me say, for example, when you put your password, they can do that by putting a spyware, spying on you. They okay. They can lure you to a site infested with viruses. So maybe you are here. We just mean like they can tempt you and drive you to a site with viruses. Maybe you just see a pop-up. Maybe they promise something very big on that website. Maybe you win something, win 10,000, and then you go and click on that link. It just takes you straight to a site with viruses. And then here we're going to look at how can you protect yourself against cookies. First thing first, it is very, very, very important to have a good antivirus. Beside for spies, beside for cookies, a good antivirus is needed. Even USBs can come with viruses. You just cannot go to the internet with a computer that doesn't have an antivirus unless you are looking for problem. So you need to have a good antivirus and a good anti-spyware software installed. In most cases, the antiviruses contain all the things that are going to block spywares, or all the types of malwares they can be in the internet. Most antiviruses are going to block that. And then update your antivirus and anti-spyware often. So this is very, very important, that to protect yourself, even not from cookies only, from the spywares, viruses, Trojan horses, all these other things, you need to update your antivirus, because antivirus are developed every day. There's a person that is developing, I'm sorry, not antiviruses, viruses, computer viruses develop every day. There's a person who's sitting right there right now developing a new virus to target people on the internet. So it is important that you update your antivirus more often so that it can catch up with the new viruses and the new technologies that they put, new spywares, new viruses, new Trojan horses. So it is important that you update your antivirus. Use a reputable web browser. This is also very important. When you look at browsers like Chrome, it is one of the most preferred browsers. Use the reputable web browsers that have a good reputation. Browsers like Chrome, they are very safe, and they support almost everything. They are user friendly, they are easy to use. So using these types of browsers is very important. They are usually not harmful. The other thing, you must clear your cookies and historical information occasionally. Clear your browser history, clear your cookies occasionally. Make it a habit that you clear those things. You may choose to use the private browsing option that will not save cookies to your computer. This one, you can also choose this option if you don't want to store any historical information or any cookies in a computer, you can just use the private browsing option on your computer, and then it won't store any cookies, it won't do anything. So nobody is going to have history about you, what do you search and what you don't search. So it will, no cookies are going to be caught by your computer. Okay, here we've got types of cookies. We've got a session cookie. A session cookie, I will say, is a cookie that will be, it's like a cookie that will be stored on your memory of the computer. And it is a, let me just say, it is temporal for that time. If you close your browser, and then it is also gone. So let me just read this sentence. Stored in the memory of the computer, it remembers information during your session, but when you close your browser, they go away. So this cookie is like when you're working on your computer and you have information on the RAM. Remember, the RAM is a temporary memory. So when there is information there and it happens that your computer shuts down before you save it, maybe you were working on a Word document or on a PowerPoint document and you haven't saved anything, when you open it again, it won't be there. It won't be there. When shopping, okay, for example here, when shopping online and placing items in your cart, okay, this is an example of a session cookie. And then there is a persistent cookie. So I will say this one is a permanent cookie, not really a permanent because you can still be able to delete it, but it will stay there until you delete it or until it expires. But it will be there whether you have closed your computer or you didn't close your computer. A persistent cookies stored on the hard drive. This one are going to be on your hard drive. Remember, the hard drive is a permanent storage. Stay until they expire or the user deletes them. They record your login information and personal details. So this one is kind of dangerous. So that's why it is important that you always delete your cookies. Okay, I'm going to the, okay, right now, so the cookies that we're talking previously, that we're talking about were cookies that were being stored in your computer hard drive, not online, not anywhere else, but they are stored in your computer hard drive. So those were the persistent cookies. And then we have session cookies. Session cookies were just like temporal cookies that are going to be stored in the memory, and then as soon as you shut down your browser, they're already gone. But then now we're going to talk about online cookies. When we talk about online cookies, we're talking about cookies that are going to be stored online. Since there is so much information to be stored, websites are now making use of online cookies. So this one are going to the online storages. They are going to be stored in the cloud. On a computer, a cookie is stored to identify you as the user when you first visit a website. So in a computer, it is there to identify you as a user. When you first visit the website or whatever you are going to do on that website, so it is just looking at you on that particular computer. Your data is stored in an online database of cookies of the website. So this is going to go to the online database. It will be stored there. It is not going to your computer this time. So your information that you do on your, when you visit the internet, when you open the internet, when you go to the internet, is going to be stored in online databases. Okay, let me go to the next slide. When you visit, Okay. When you visit a website, it reads your data, it reads your ID from the cookies on your hard drive and retrieves the information on your previous visit from own online database of cookies. So that's what an online database is going to do. Data of an online database is stored. Okay, so now we're going to talk about online database. So an online database is a database that is going to store your information online. It's a database that is going to, it is not anywhere, just like online applications, online services, you can access them anywhere as long as you, just like example for SaaS, software as a service. Okay, let me just start here and go with it step by step and not explain the whole thing roughly. Data of an online database is stored on the internet instead of an individual computer. So this one is going to go to the internet. It is stored in the cloud instead of being stored on somebody's individual computer. SaaS. SaaS, you remember what is SaaS? SaaS is software as a service. When you are, maybe let me say you are getting services like online softwares, for example, like Google Docs or an online office from Google offices. For example, you have Word, a web processing software, you have got a spreadsheet, you have got presentation software. Those are examples of SaaS software, as long as software as a service. Products are available to host the database online and purchase as a monthly subscription fee. So here you are renting, actually, yeah, I will just say you are renting the software, you are paying a monthly subscription fee. Access to the database will be done through a web browser. So that's what you do when you have to access things that, let me not say things, let me just say softwares that you are going to use online. You will need to access them through the browser. Collaboration features are included, such as sharing. Okay, you can be able to share your things sometimes that you use online, and can be able to print them, you can be able to edit them, update them, you can be able to do anything, just like any software that will be installed in your computer. Online database are accessed during scripting languages. So what they use here is scripting languages, for example, like JavaScript, those types of languages, JavaScript, PHP, those languages, that is what, those are the languages that are being used to access to access the online database. Advantages of an online database. So any online software, the first advantage is that data that is stored online is available everywhere you go, as long as you have internet access. So this one is just like the SaaS services. You can access it anywhere you go. Information stored in the database can be searched for fast and efficiency. Information stored in the database can be searched for fast and efficiency. So it is fast and efficiency, that is and effective. Results can be saved, printed, or exported to other programs. So the results that you search can be saved and can also be printed, or they can also be exported to other programs. Data is protected by your username and password. So here, in order to access all the online softwares that you are using, you are going to need a username and a password. You can create sub-users to allow them to access your data, okay? So if you want somebody to access your data, you can also create sub-users and give them the permission to access your data that is online. So here now we're going to look at scripting languages. Scripting languages are used when developing websites. Markup languages are used to present information to the user on the internet. So these languages are used to present information to users on the internet. So when you create a website, we're going to use languages like markup languages like HTML, XHTML. Those languages are used to present the information in the internet, to get information from the user, to get information from the user. A scripting language is needed. So now this is what is happening. So the markup language is going to create the website. You are going to put your information there, but you are the creator, but the user is the person who's going to go to your website and look for information. That is the user. So in order for you as a person who created the website to get the user information, you are going to need a scripting language. Just like here, we were talking about cookies, saying that cookies get the information from the person who visits that website, and it will be taken from their browser and stored in their hard drives. So this is what is being used to get the user information, the scripting languages. Needed for online shopping, like buying a book or booking a flight ticket. So all these interactive websites that we see now, we've got a lot of online shops, just like Take a Lot, what else, Amazon. There's a lot of them. It is needed. Scripting languages are needed there so that the website can be interactive. Okay, scripting languages. A scripting language is an interpreted language that typically is easy to learn and use. So these are examples of scripting languages: JavaScript, PHP, VB scripts. All of these are examples of scripting languages. Scripting languages are used to add functionality to the website. So if you create a website with just plain HTML, it won't be that interactive. But when you use these scripting languages, you can add a lot of things in your website. The drop down list, put multimedia things like videos, pictures, audios, a lot of things. So that's why you need scripting languages. Web developers insert JavaScript code directly in an HTML or XHTML document. So this you are going to use them together. When you use your HTML, you can put your JavaScript directly into these languages. And then SQL, structured query language. The structured query language, especially in IT, we have been using it a lot. It doesn't only work in the database that we usually program or stuff. It also works in online not online, in also online databases, and almost every program language have an SQL. So it is used to query the database. So they query the information they want. So maybe they want to see how many people are often visiting the website, how many people who have only visited it once, how many people spend a lot of time like this in the website. So they are going to use, as an IT learner, you know, the SQL. The structure, they use the query to structure it is either they are going to sort the information, they are going to filter the information, maybe they are looking for something for the cookies that they have put on your uh, on your browser that have took your information. So they are going to use this SQL. And then we've got PHP, create pages with which the user can interact. So PHP make the pages to be interactive. Even JavaScript also can make the pages to be interactive. So here we're going to talk about JavaScript. Allow a programmer to add dynamic content and interactive elements to a web page. So this is going to make your website to be dynamic and also to be interactive. So these elements will include what? Alert messages, scrolling text. Maybe you see some text scrolling in a website. You must know that that is a JavaScript. If you see some form of an animation in a website, you must know that that is a JavaScript. Drop-down menus. It is most common in nowadays websites. The drop-down menus, data input forms, pop-up windows, interactive quizzes, mouse rollovers. All those things can be used on a JavaScript. And then we've got XML. XML is another language that is used, and it is similar to HTML. HTML, we all know that it is a language used to create website, to develop website. XML is a self-descriptive language. Unlike HTML, the tags are not predefined and the programmer define their own text. So here the programmer, their own text, the programmer is going to define their own text. Whereas we know with HTML, the tags are already defined there. You need to know all the text, and then you can be able to use HTML to develop a site. All right, guys, I hope everything was clear. So what I want you to do now to test your understanding, I want you to go and read this scenario and then try to answer these questions. I hope they are clear enough, or I can just make the text a bit bigger so that when you read it, you don't struggle. Okay, let me make it a bit bigger, 14. Let me make it 12. It's too much now. Let me make it 12. Okay, then move this thing. So to test your understanding of this content, please answer these questions. Try to answer these questions, and after answering the questions, you can just email me to my email address I'm going to give just right now. And then if you can't be able to answer those questions, it will mean that you have understood today's topic. So, okay, on this one, I didn't save my email. Let me just put my email here My email here is Mtobisi, this is @gmail.com. So guys, if you have any questions, or if you happen to answer those questions to test your understanding and you need them to be marked, I will mark them and give a feedback. So you can email me to this email address, mtobisi@gmail.com. I will mark your work and then give a feedback. Thank you so much guys for tuning in. I will see you on the next lesson. Bye.